Drinking alcohol is one of the most common hobbies people partake in all over the world. Each individual's tolerance for alcohol will be different for various reasons, such as your genetics, weight, drinking experience, etc. etc. Like with most things we do, us humans take things too far, and drinking is certainly no exception. So, to help you better emphasize how drunk you get on your regular night out, I've decided to put together a list of the different levels of drunk you might experience based off what I've seen in my time. Level 1. Not sober. At this level, you're barely above sober and don't quite meet that mark since you've had one or two drinks. At this point, you pretty much feel no effects of the alcohol yet. Your engine is still running at normal capacity and your senses have also not dulled by a noticeable amount. This is the perfect level to stay at if you need to remain fully functional but crave a taste of the old booze. Since you can only be at this level before you feel the effects of alcohol, you'll only ever be here at the start of your session. If you're someone who consumes drink with a heavier dose of alcohol, you might experience this level for a brief time before you catapult very quickly up this list. The chances of you experiencing a hangover after achieving this level is very slim, but if you do, pushing beyond this level next time you drink is very unadvisable because you are certainly a lightweight. My overall assessment for this level is low risk, medium return. You'll likely experience minimal damage both to your wallet and body at this point. With that being said, you'll also likely feel no buzz from the alcohol either, but if you genuinely enjoy your drink of choice, this won't matter. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the positive vibes. Level 2. Tipsy. At this point, you're usually between 3 and 5 drinks in and are now starting to notice the alcohol work its magic. You'll notice your senses ever so slightly numb at this point, but not to a stage where it's uncomfortable. Typically, you'll feel a weight be lifted off your shoulders, you'll likely feel more open and outgoing, and overall, you'll likely feel like a ray of sunshine. The chances of you having a hangover after achieving this point is still relatively slim, but is certainly higher than level 1. You will, however, notice your ability to process what is going on is starting to slow down. This is both a good and bad effect. Bad in the sense that if someone was to randomly attack you, you're even more bollocks than your sober self. Good in the sense that you tend to see things in a more positive light, since you view the world in a more simple way. This is because your brain is slower than normal. My assessment for this level is low risk, high return. Damage to your body and wallet is still relatively low at this point, and you do experience some of the positive effects alcohol has to offer. Level 3. Steamed. At this point, you're 6 to 8 drinks in, and the effects of alcohol are certainly in full swing. Time likely feels slower, yet every time you blink, another hour has gone by, which is quite paradoxical. Some of us might have also built up the courage at this point to throw a few shapes on the dance floor. Some of us may have also reached a level of confidence to try and chat up someone they fancy. Some of us might be stuck in a corner smiling ear to ear like a gobshite. All in all, this is the level where people will likely achieve peak positive vibes. On the flip side, I consider this stage as a transitionary level since things may move from good to bad for some people. Certain individuals might become emotional from the alcohol and end up being an unstable wreck for the rest of the night. If you're one of these people, for the love of all things that are not shite, don't push beyond this point. This is also the stage where your body might begin to turn against you and the chances of you having a hangover when you wake up is about medium. Overall, my assessment for this level is medium risk, low/very high return. You are going to do a medium amount of damage to your body and wallet at this point. If you're someone who doesn't handle alcohol well, then you will likely have a negative experience at this level. If you can tolerate this volume of alcohol, then you are going to have a very good time, but ultimately, you will potentially have to deal with some negative consequences the morning after your session. Level 4. Plastered. At this level, you're about 9 to 12 drinks in, and to say you're drunk is an understatement. A better way of phrasing it is, you're quite fucked up. Everything around you is pretty much a blur, but you can still manage to make out your surroundings at a very low frame rate. Your ability to communicate effectively with others has deteriorated completely. At best, you might be able to sound out a few basic words combined with a few grunts. Your judgment and ability to process things at this level is quite poor, so, as hard as it might be, try and refrain from impulsively acting on any ideas you might have. The outcome of said ideas are likely as bad as your ability to sustain a normal conversation at this level. This is a stage where your body is very likely to turn against you, and, to be frank, you're going to be quite hungover, unless you're a seasoned vet whose body can't tell the difference between water and alcohol anymore. My overall assessment for this level is high risk, high return, which will eventually transition to bad return, due to the damage caused at this level. If you're lucky, you'll experience a very nice but brief high before your inevitable fall. For those less fortunate, you won't experience any good vibes at this level. In fact, achieving this level for you will be a very shitty experience. Level 5. Absolutely bollocks. At this point, you're roughly 13 plus drinks into your session and things aren't going too well. For all other levels, there is the potential for at least a small window of positive vibes to occur, but at level 5, this is certainly not the case. Your body has turned against you completely at this point, whether it be your head, your bowels, your liver, or all of the above. Either way, you've pushed your body too far and are going to have to deal with the consequences now and in the morning. You likely desire the sweet release of getting sick or going number 2 at a minimum to offset some of the discomfort and pain. There's also the possibility that you are essentially blind at this point, so it's important you keep with a group of friends if you think achieving this level is a possibility. Hopefully, you're not all in the same boat. Is that likely? I know it's not. We idiots tend to do the same shit. If you're lucky, you'll manage to find your way home and pass out in a place that isn't completely uncomfortable. After you pass out, 2 scenarios are likely to occur when you wake up the following day. 1 being, you wake up with a very nasty hangover. 2 being, you wake up still drunk, which inevitably will be followed by said nasty hangover. Overall, my assessment for this level is high risk, very low return. You are doing a lot of damage to your body and are certainly going to feel the negative effects of your poor choices the morning after your session. Your wallet very much hates you at this point, even more so than the self-loathing you've developed for yourself. For your own sake, avoid this level at all costs, since no good ever really comes from it. To conclude, we're all different. Our ability to tolerate alcohol is different. Our choice of alcohol and the amount of alcohol we need to consume for us to achieve the mentioned levels will also be different, but hopefully this video can act as a rough guide for you. The one thing which we can all collectively agree on is drinking alcohol can be a very fun experience, but when taken too far, like everything else in life, it can be very harmful to your health. So, drink responsibly.